We're here in Grodin, Gardenia in Italy, in the Dolomites. This is St. Christina. And here you have the Dolomite Mountains, and here we're in this little valley, and we're going to go walking. If you'd like to come along for the walk. And let's see what we discover on the way. Look at all these flowers here. Incredible beauty and finesse. Engineering, botany. It's just amazing. Wild roses coming forth and in full bloom. Different color ones here, white ones. It's amazing to see all this incredible beauty. I wonder when these videos will be able to give you the beautiful perfumes that you can sense here. This is a type of a plant we call vetch. Vetches, they're little pods. And there used to be some of those on the farm at home. And you could actually get the seeds out of the little pods and eat them. They were a strong, very strong flavor, but the farmers would sometimes rub them in their hands and chew on them. They were also hard, a bit tough, but very unique characteristic. And then the famous nettles. We knew only too well about nettles as children, not because of all the stings. And they actually sting just as well here. And they also smell the same way if you break a nettle or cut it. The same smell. Now look at this flower here. I got one of these earlier, and I'm not sure if that's a domestic flower or a wildflower. It's an amazing treasure here in the middle of the woods. But obviously there's been a lot of human traffic here, so I don't know if it was a domestic flower. Maybe the birds have dropped a seed here in the process, and all the trickles of water coming forth. It's amazing the handwork here, the maintenance, in so many ways. Even just the way the wood is placed and ordered up there, a small little pile of wood, but it's done so orderly. It's also covered to protect it from the weather, from the humidity, which would rot it. See the way these branches are picked up here and ordered to be picked up later again. These marvelous forests, woodlands and pastures. Here we have another one of these flowers over here. We also have another yellow tall one up here, and a couple more of them nearby. I'm not very good at remembering names, but many of you know these plants. It's just so good for the heart and the soul and the mind to get some moments like this. Deep gratitude for all those who made it possible for us to have these days here. And now the sun is hitting the grassland over there. These were all farmhouses. And they also knew their horrors 2 centuries ago when Napoleon came through here. And the Südtirol, that's the German name for this area, they defeated Napoleon 3 times, which he couldn't understand and which he found very humiliating. And it was also explained to us yesterday by a historian that the strength of the people came from their devotion to the heart of Jesus. A very strong faith here in the people. There are lots of signs of this everywhere. And it's interesting because that devotion came particularly from France. Another thing that I find very striking is that this area is called the Dolomites, which is named after a French scientist who came here after Napoleon and was the first to describe the special minerals that make this limestone area of the Southern Alps a very peculiar rock formation. I hope to get you to the waterfalls since you have a little bit more time with Facebook, or I have with Facebook and YouTube. The Instagram ones we keep shorter. Then we wait until we get down to the waterfall or the water course. I'm not sure if we will be at waterfalls exactly, but there are actually 2 sets of waterfalls I've already seen in the distance. If I can hear the water getting closer, we're getting closer to it. Because I have the camera in one hand, I have my 2 sticks in the other hand, so I'm going a little bit more slowly, which is probably better for the steadiness of the video. These young pine trees here. They don't grow far away from the parents. We still have a few minutes to go to get to the waterfalls, I think. Although I can hear them more clearly. When I'm here, I walk a lot in silence, which is really not silence, it's just listening. So maybe we'll do that for a little bit, so you can also listen. Very soft. Moss on the wet rock. Actually, if you stay with me, we're going to get down here, I think, to the water level. I see the road going by there, which is normal. Let's get down there. We have two big essels to go down, apparently, to get to the water course. There's something incredibly marvelous about refreshing and exhilarating, stunning about a mountain stream. There's a church over here in the woods on the other side, which I was at last week. It's called St. Jacob's. It's the first church ever built in the whole valley of the Gardenia of Groden. It's dedicated to St. James the Apostle. And then I climbed up to the top of those rocks up there behind it. And then this is the older form of water drainage before they had the metal ones. Look at all the work that was done to build this roadway. The effort of generations in different periods improving infrastructure. Oh, I was going back to the story of Napoleon. Well, Napoleon was so frustrated, he sent back a whole battalion of troops and ruffians who burned all the farms of the peasants. You know, it's interesting how waves of conflict have blown through all the regions of the world. We have them in the Middle East and so many other places worldwide now, and just to think that this peaceful area saw so much horror and terror, and the poor farmers seeing their farmsteads completely burned in retaliation for the defeat of his army, and the people were in terrible distress. And then 100 years later, more or less, a good century later, we have the First World War, and we have another big confrontation right here in this area between the Austrian Empire and this area of South Tyrol. And just imagine where all this water is coming from further up. In the Instagram video, which I did before this one, we captured this water coming from a waterfall quite a ways up on the side of the mountain up there. Imagine the salmon jumping and going up there, or the trout. Not sure if there's salmon in these rivers. The lush abundance and varieties. Oh, little drops of water. Another little stream coming along there. Eventually heading into the bigger one. Notice again how they have built this beautiful little bridge. Very practical. And here we have a nice view of St. Jacob's Church again. Yesterday we had a wonderful tour in boats in Bolzano. Actually, it was another town. No, in Bolzano, yes, in Bolzano, and learning about the history there, going back 1600 years. And I'm sure there's earlier with the Romans. Would you like to cross the bridge? Look how well built this is. I learned a great appreciation for craftsmanship from my dad. So we're going to not go up there now, but I want to show you something else that I really admire here, is how they are responsible for how responsibly they take care of the resources. The wood for burning, packed away and kept dry. There's also a lot of wood harvested, I'm not quite sure what the right word is, for artwork. This area, especially Ortizay, but the whole area is very famous for sculpting, wood sculpture, carving, wood carving. And they're giant sculptures and miniature sculptures, so well done. It really is amazing. Look at the way the wood is piled here. Look at the beautiful little hut. The order. It's just so absolutely delightful. All the stacking so neatly done. So much to learn. And the more time I spend here, the more I realize the people here are so profoundly moved by faith. And everywhere you go, there's a reminder of the faith. And this is very probably a hand-carved piece here from one of the artists, the wood carvers here in the area. Well, we're reaching 20 minutes, so maybe we should just call it like that for today. And I'll continue my walk praying for you. and wishing you every blessing for you and your families and for each country in which you live, that they will know times of mutual acceptance and understanding, collaboration, helpfulness and kindness and gentleness, and overcome the periods of hostility and conflict, if there are such. Many blessings.